Every day there is somebody that watches my channel and ends up speaking critically of me. Do you ever wonder why you have such a critical nature? Do you ever wonder why people all have to agree with you in order for them to be, what word shall I use? To be accepted, to be respected? Do you ever wonder about that? That's called introspection. To turn within and know yourself. Asking yourself, why am I always so critical of other people? Why do I always have to be right? Why does everyone have to believe the same thing I believe, right? There is some childhood trauma at the root of those responses and reactions. Generally, it means you have an unconscious need to be validated, an unconscious need to be heard, because during childhood you were basically told to shut up, that you're stupid and know nothing, things like that. But I want to address in particular the Christian viewers that visit my channel and comment critically. Do you think that, calling people of the devil or of Satan, do you think that is comparable to the Dark Ages when heretics were persecuted? Could it be that you are operating in the same spirit? You just don't realize it because you've told yourself, convinced yourself that, you're not violent, you're not physically harming me. But you know how the children's saying goes, how is it? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Well, words do hurt. Thankfully, I have the maturity to handle that and not let that hurt, let those insults bring me down. But you really have to question the person that is slinging unkind words and calling me of the devil. Are you operating in that spirit of the Dark Ages, a persecuting spirit? Why do you have a problem with people believing whatever they wish to believe? You see, I'm a peaceable person. I'm a loving person. In fact, I am much more loving now than when I was a Christian. When I was a Christian, I did the very same thing you are doing. I would be the headhunter and exposing all the devil worshippers and the Satan followers and calling out their sins. That was not a loving way of being, and I was not a good person. I was a Christian, but I was not a loving person. I was full of criticism of others because I felt so unsure in myself. I had so many insecurities that I required everyone to believe like me. If I encountered a person that didn't believe the same way I believed, that made me feel threatened. That threatened me in my insecurity. And therefore I projected my insecurity and my self-criticism as criticism of others, judgments of others. I was a very judgmental Pharisee, and there was no love in me. I want you to think about that. When you go about calling other human beings, who by the way are made in the image of God, regardless of what they might believe or profess with their mouth. Christianity wasn't around when God created humanity and declared them very good. There was no belief system existent at the time. Humanity was declared good by God. And that hasn't changed. Only we have adopted opinions and judgments in our carnal, critical mind of one another, and we treat one another unkindly, unable to love the person that believes differently, practices differently from ourselves. Ask yourself why you are so critical and why it is so important that everyone conforms to the same beliefs you hold, right? It'll lead you to the uncovering of some of your trauma wounds. Can't you just live and let live and be the most peaceable, loving person possible? That might be better than being a Christian. In fact, there are people who are not Christian that are much more loving, much more respecting than many Christians are. So, yes, I'm going to continue to speak my truth, to speak my insights, to speak my opinions, basically to live my life. I don't have to conform to a world religion or a state religion or a religious culture that we were all raised or cultured into. We don't have to be cookie cutters of one another to be decent people. Anyways, just some questions for you to ponder as I am simply going about living my life. I'm not trying to be Christian. I'm not trying to be like you. And I'm not even asking you to be like me. I'm just encouraging people to be more loving, to be more kind, to be more mindful of the comments that you're making under my videos. Is it kind? Is it beneficial? Is it respectful?